All right, Harry. In some non-Christian faiths, right, they are taught when they die, God judges whether they make it to heaven. However, in the Christian faith, what does Jesus teach us?
Yeah, well, a verse in John 5, 24, Jesus says, "Verily, truly, I tell you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life and will not be judged, but has crossed over from death to life." I find that verse really fascinating because the concept is that that's a now thing. That's not a later thing. Um, there's some people within the Christian faith that tell you that if we've done the sinner's prayer that we're in a good place and we're on our way to heaven. Not so sure that that's really accurate because Jesus says that we have to deny ourselves, take up our cross daily, and follow Him, be obedient to His teachings, live a live a life that produces fruit, and so on. But Jesus also teaches that, just based on that verse, and not only that verse alone, but that eternal life starts now, meaning that at the time that we come to Christ and start living with Him and for Him. In a way, it's a bit like getting on a train. You buy the ticket, you get on the train, and whenever you get on the train is where your journey starts, your spiritual journey. Now, you've lived before you got on the train, so you're maybe 30 years old and you get on a train, and now you're on the train of your spiritual life train, which takes you
Mhm.
past the end of life. So you're on this train and you're adapting to the Christian faith, you're living the Christian faith, and you're walking that path. But when you die, your body falls off, but your spiritual journey continues on. That's how I see that. The concept also I've heard said before is you have two births and one death, or one birth and two deaths. We all know that we have a birth when we're born. And if we have two births, that's a second one is our spiritual birth, where we actually equivalent to getting on the train or being born again and walking with God. And if we get on that train and we're born again, at some point in time, our body dies, falls off, and now we have, but you don't have a second death because you're traveling past the goalpost and you're on your journey to heaven. That's the train to heaven. You're
Mhm.
not on it in this
But
lifetime.
how do we know that we're on that journey, right? Because you hear that question a lot is like, you don't want to plant doubt into people as well, but they want that reassurance. And what would you say to somebody to analyze their lifestyle, I guess is the best way. And what should they be looking for to find out whether or not they're on that train or on that right path?
Very good. That's really good. Last chapter of Second Corinthians, I think verse 5, I think it's 13 and 5.
Hmm.
Paul says, search yourself, test yourself to see if you're in the faith. You know that Jesus Christ lives in you, unless, of course, you fail the test. And I think that's really, really crucial because if Jesus lives in me, that means I'm going to reflect His characteristics. I'm going to have joy and a peace, and I'm going to act right. I'm going to be kind to others, respectful, and so on. But if I'm angry or jealous or lustful or have all those struggles or addictions, and so obviously I'm not passing the test. So so that's, I believe, how we tell. But if we, just like any other test, if you flunk the test, you don't say, well, I'm never going to do this. You say, give me the book. Let's look at this again. Because I really, really believe that we all should compare ourselves to Jesus. Do I have His characteristics? The Sermon on the Mount, does that work for me? Am I like that? The Galatians 5, the fruits of the Spirit, or does that reflect who I am? Because when Jesus gives us, if we're a Christian, we get a new nature, a sheep nature. And that sheep nature has the right characteristics, the right fruit, a good tree, good fruit. And that's how we know what does our life show? What does it demonstrate? So if we get on the train, let's make sure that that's right, because many, many people, just like Jesus says, they come to the end of it and it doesn't turn out the way they thought. The story about the sheep and the goats, the parable in Matthew 25 or 7, I think
Hmm.
25. Neither the sheep or the goats got what they expected. The sheep were pleased and surprised that Jesus was pleased with them, and the goats were really disappointed because they were trained to act like sheep, and that's not going to work. So let's really make sure we're on the train. We have two births, one death, and the second birth is now, right now,
Mhm.
or in our future or past, but not 10 years from now. It ain't gonna work. You have to do it now to find Jesus and get on the train.
Awesome. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.